Titans, Bitcoin had a nice breakout this weekend, but are we out of the woods yet, or was this just a bull trap? Let's talk about where Bitcoin could be heading next. Kevork, hit that intro. Let's kick it off with the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Today we are at 75, which represents greed, which is exactly where we left it on Friday before heading into the weekend. So the Bitcoin breakout we saw over the weekend has not changed anything here yet. Now let's move on to your daily reminder that the Bitcoin halving is in just 25 days. Also note that the halving date is now currently estimated to be April 19th. But again, it's a moving date based on whenever the 210,000 blocks have been added to the Bitcoin blockchain. And for those of you who are new to crypto, this event marks the time in which the Bitcoin reward to the miners will get cut in half from about 6 Bitcoins to about 3 Bitcoins every time a block is successfully added to the Bitcoin blockchain. Moving on to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. Just a quick reminder that this map tracks the short and long position liquidity for Bitcoin in areas that are either light or dark yellow. The yellow areas will either be above or below the current price action, which are the short and long positions respectively. So looking at the 1 week window, we're seeing some strong short position liquidity building up around 68.4K. Just a word of caution to the bears. Bitcoin tends to follow the liquidity, so be careful out there because we could see a short squeeze coming real soon. Now let's take a quick look at the Bitcoin ETF flow table. Just a quick reminder to anyone new to this table, we're tracking how much Bitcoin the institutions such as BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK Invest, etc. are buying to back their ETFs based on the millions of dollars they are spending per day against how much Bitcoin is being sold by Grayscale in millions of dollars as folks are switching out of Grayscale Bitcoin and into the ETFs. Okay, since we won't have today's data until tomorrow morning, let's quickly recap last week. We ended the week with 5 consecutive days of negative flow, but it really tapered down on Thursday and Friday. And in my opinion, the institutions likely slowed down on their purchasing of Bitcoin to let the price pull back a bit before ramping up again, as opposed to continuously buying, which pumps up the price only to have to keep buying more at a premium price every time. If this is the case, it's a logical place to do it as we hover just below the previous all-time high of about 69K before we really get into the parabolic phase with the halving event just about a month away. Guys, this is your reminder that we are only 59 days away from a decision to be made by the SEC for the first Ethereum spot ETF by May 23rd. Don't sleep on Ethereum because you know what happened to Bitcoin leading up to the approval of the spot ETFs back in January. All right, now let's hit the charts. All right, we're looking at Bitcoin on the 12-hour time frame. And as you can see here, we broke out of this consolidation pattern on Sunday, but we're not out of the woods yet. What we really need to see here is a break above the current resistance zone, which is at approximately 67.9K to 68.3K. Also note here that the Bollinger Bands are tight in this area of price action, and we're currently in the Bollinger Band with squeeze zone, so this move does not appear to be finished yet. Zooming out to the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, we can see here that we are still closing weekly candles in this 65.5K to 69K support zone, which is a great sign. And we also closed last week's candle with a hammer candle, which is very bullish because as you can see here, the bulls stepped in all week whenever the price was being pushed down by the bears, even when it got as low as about 60.8K. So although this correction from about 74K may not be over, we are seeing signs that the buy pressure has remained very strong over the last week in particular. And as we've been saying all last week, I would not be surprised at all if we retest this 57K to 60K support zone, even if it's just a quick wick down to it, because that would represent about a 20% correction, which again would be consistent with the previous 4 other major corrections we've seen so far in this cycle. Titans, we are your one-stop source for guiding you through this Bitcoin bull run. Please join us as we continue to provide the latest market and technical analysis that are going to give you that edge.